Hey, Cub fans! Thanks for tuning in here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs with delight and unwavering optimism. We're going to be talking about Justin Steele today, and I just want to start it with asking a question. The question is, who is the Cubs ace? If you were asked that question, would you say Justin Steele? I was asked that question recently, and I guess I hadn't thought about that question. Because when it was posed to me and I started to answer it, I almost said Justin Steele. I just said, well, it'd be Steele. But then I thought, and I didn't say it. And I thought that was interesting that I didn't. I hesitated. It made me think, why did I hesitate? Why wasn't I? Like, well, I don't know that I'm ready to give Justin Steele that moniker of ace. Because that moniker means something to me. That's like, whoa, hang on a second. You just don't hand that out willy-nilly, tell somebody he's an ace. You got to earn that. So what is an ace? Well, in my mind, it's the guy that you count on, the best pitcher, the most reliable pitcher that you have on staff, the guy that is going to stop a losing streak, the guy you can count on. You know what he's going to give you. That's pretty intense. You can't be an ace and be inconsistent. You can't be an ace and not have done it over a period of time, I don't think. So I'm going to suggest to you right now that I wouldn't give Justin Steele the moniker of ace. I don't know that the Cubs have an ace. If you start asking yourself, well, what's the criteria to be called the ace? I don't think we have one. It scared me a little bit. I go, well, I think we're aceless. That's not good. At this point, we might be aceless. And we're talking now on January 8th, 2024, and our depth chart is on the rotation is 4 deep. It's Assad, it's Jameson Tyone, it's Kyle Hendricks, and it's Justin Steele. You got to pick an ace from that group. I don't know. We don't know what Kyle's going to give us, right? He's a question mark. Justin's still too new. So I think maybe we're aceless. And maybe that changes. Maybe Justin steps up. Maybe this is the year he becomes the ace. But I think it's a question mark. Well, we're going to have to see. So let's kind of get a feel for who Justin Steele is. We're going to walk through it, look at his numbers, look at some in-depth numbers, and look at some positives. There's a few question marks in there too. So let's kick back. Let's talk a little Cubs baseball with Justin Steele. Justin Carl Steele, born on July 11th, 1995, 28 years old, 6'2", 205. Comes from a small town in southeastern, extreme southern eastern Mississippi called Loosedale. 1,800 people in Loosedale. But he was actually raised in a small town just outside of Loosedale called Agricola, Mississippi. Population is 346. So Justin Steele left Agricola to go to the city, Loosedale, with 1,800 people. I can relate. I'm from North Judson, Indiana, about 1,800 people. Shout out to my homies from North Judson. Hey, guys. Justin has a brother, older brother, Jordan. What do you think they did? They played baseball in the backyard. Agricola, Mississippi, you play baseball in the backyard with your brother. Justin comes from a very athletic family. Justin's dad played football at Alabama. Justin's grandfather played basketball at Southern Miss. And his older brother, Jordan, played baseball at Mississippi Gulf Coast. So I imagine it's what they did. Family get-togethers, talk ball, play ball. So that's probably all Justin knew. High school, he went to George County High School. George County is the county Loosedale is in. He sort of got his fastball up to the 90 mile per hour mark pretty early. Did it as a sophomore. And once that happened, he started to attract recruiters and scouts alike. And as a junior in 2013, he went 7-3, had a sub-2 ERA at 1.94, 98 Ks, 61 in the third. He also played some outfield and DH. So Justin could hit a little bit. He hit 326, had 3 home runs, and 23 RBIs playing in the outfield. So he's an athlete. As a senior, he went 5-1, pretty much dominated. Had a sub-1 ERA at .98. Struck out 92 in 43 innings. My math on that is like 2 per. And 2 of his outings were no-nos. So pretty much unhittable. You can imagine, high school players, you run into a guy who's going to be, an all-star pitcher as a senior, and he's just got you don't see that. It's a pitcher like that for a high school team, they got no shot. Lefty, nasty, they never saw it before. So going .9 ERA with 92 Ks, 43 innings, 2 no-nos, that sounds about right. That's about what you would expect for a guy like that. 2014, Justin had already committed to the University of Southern Miss, verbal commitment. But the Cubs selected him 5th round, 139th overall, and offered him a signing bonus of $1 million. So young Justin Steele from Agricola, Mississippi, just got offered $1 million. What do you think he did? Yeah, he signed. So he makes his pro debut pretty much immediately. Starts at rookie level, Arizona Cubs in the Arizona League, and pitched 18 2/3 innings, had a 2.89 ERA, and 25 strikeouts in his first professional season. Pretty good start for a 19-year-old kid. In 2015, he opens with the Class A. It's a short season league, the Eugene Emeralds. Had 10 starts, went 3-1, 2.66 ERA, 38 Ks, and 40 2/3 innings. It's interesting when you start to kind of see how they take a kid like that and they start him slow. 18 2/3 innings the first year, then they bump him up. He went 40 2/3. I find that interesting how they have to manage that. And when you study especially a pitcher's career, how they build him up, I just think it's interesting, and I like to know about how they did that. In 2016, they bump him up to High A South Bend. So it's South Bend Cubs 2016, and that's the first time he struggled. So he went 3-5 with a 6.17 ERA through his first 9 games with the South Bend Cubs. So, you watch these guys, and you just figure they just cruise through. But he had setbacks too. So in 2016, he fails at High A South Bend, gets sent back to Eugene. So he gets pushed back to Eugene in June. Finished out that 2016 season with a 5.0 ERA, went 5-7, 76 Ks, 77 1/3, and a total of 19 starts. 2017 rolls around. Starts with the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. His season was cut short because he had an injury. Needed Tommy John surgery. In the 20 starts he had in 2017 before the injury, he went 6-7 with a 2.92 ERA in 11 starts. So, gets sent back from High A South Bend and starts the next season pretty good shape. Then it gets cut short for Tommy John surgery. Another setback for Justin. So 2016, 2017, back-to-back setbacks. When he returned in 2018, he started him over. They sent him back down to the Arizona League Cubs, but he started there, went back up to Myrtle Beach, and then he got bumped up to Double-A Tennessee late in that 2018 season. The total through the 3 teams, he went 2-2, had a 2.31 ERA in 11 starts. So they just gave him a handful of starts at each location and kept moving him up. Then after the season, they were impressed enough with him that they went ahead and assigned him to the Arizona Fall League. So Justin played in the Arizona Fall League in the season of 2018. After that season, that's when the Cubs added him to the 40-man roster. I think when you're a player like that, especially drafted out of high school and you start at rookie ball and work your way up, I would imagine the first time you get placed on the 40-man, that's a pretty big day. I mean, obviously it's not as big as getting called up and making your debut, but I imagine it's a pretty big day. Cubs think of you so much, they put you on the 40-man, protect you from the Rule 5 draft. I imagine that's pretty good. So that happened to Justin in 2018, and that's probably the first time he thought to himself, hey, I think I'm going to be a big leaguer, 2018. So we're running now. It's 2018. Things are good. 2019, he starts and plays the season with Tennessee Smokies, Double-A. Has 11 starts, but he goes 0-6 with a 5.59 ERA. that'll make a guy question himself, I suppose. You know, coming off a really good 2018 with a 2.31, getting added to the 40-man, and then, you know, going to Tennessee and kind of getting hammered a little bit. Didn't go well. Then it doesn't get any better because next season's 2020, the COVID season, so he didn't play in any minor league games at all. But late in the season or later in the season, early or late summer, August 2nd, he got called up. So the Cubs called him up for the first time on August 2nd, 2020, but he didn't appear in a game. So 4 days later, on August 6th, he was optioned back down. You know, Justin. See, it's hard. You know, you look at Justin now and like, man, he had some setbacks. So he gets called up. He's all juiced. Tells his family, you know, they probably show up. He doesn't get an appearance, and then sent back down for doing nothing. Sorry, Justin, don't really need you. Go on back. 2021, April 12th, they called him up again. He debuted that night against the Crew, the Brewers. Struck out the first batter he ever saw. So his first appearance, struck out the first batter he saw. Daniel Robertson, if you're interested in who that was. That season he went 4-4. 2021, his rookie year, 2021, went 4-4 with a 4.26 ERA in 57 innings. So at that point, Justin Steele is he's a big leaguer. He's ready to go. So we're going to talk now about his last two seasons, his 2022 and his 2023 season. So keep in mind what he did in 2021. Short season, you know, shows up. So I'm not going to count that. But in 2022, 2023, he's got two full seasons. So let's just compare the two. Let's look. Was there growth? So he's 26 years old now. So he's not a kid. So he's 26 years old in 2022. He goes 4-7, has a 3.18 ERA, 24 starts, pitches 119 innings with a 1.35 whip. That's pretty good. 2023, now he's 27 years old. To me, you know, entering his prime years, has a really good year in 2023. Goes 16-5. So from 4-7 to 16-5. From 3.18 ERA to 3.06 in 23. Went from 24 starts in 22 to 30 starts in 23. Total of 119 innings pitched in 22 to 173 innings pitched in 2023. So everything got better. From a 1.35 whip down to a 1.17 whip. His WAR was 3.8 in 2023. His career WAR is now 6.3. All those look good. Are they ace worthy is the question. All-star in 23, but, you know, 173 innings, 3.06. You can debate it. I don't know. You guys can decide. But there's more. We got more to talk about. Let's get into it. I'm going to go now into just the 2023. That's his last season. That was his best season. So let's get in and find out exactly where our strengths and weaknesses lie. There's going to be some things we uncover, I think, that cause me to be less optimistic about what we might see moving forward. So let's take a look at them. 2023 numbers. Justin's 27 years old. And we're going to look at his advanced pitching stats. So his batting average against. So hitters hit 251 against Justin in 2023. Major League hitters hit 251. Major League average is 245. So Major League hitters actually had a higher average against Justin than they did the rest of the league. But their on-base percentage was lower. Justin's opposing hitters had an on-base percentage of just 295, several points below league average of 316. Same way with slug. They didn't slug at league average. They slugged against Justin at 371, league 407. OPS, league average is 723, slug against Justin was 666. So that's interesting. Higher average, but lower on-base slug and OPS. Okay. You got to look at the numbers, and you got to look at them from all different perspectives. you look at one number, maybe it doesn't tell the whole story. But doing a sort of an in-depth dive, so a lot of times it makes more questions present themselves. And in this case, I think they do. I think it creates more questions. But you also see things that you go, okay, yeah, the numbers sometimes back up what you think you see. Sometimes they don't. So let's take a look at his hit percentage. Justin gives up an average of 2 hits per 9. League average for pitchers is 3.1. Justin strikes out 24.6% of the hitters he faces. League average is 22.8. His base on ball percentage is 5%, much better than league average of 8.5. So he gives up less hits, he strikes out more, and he walks less. You take those three, and you're like, that's why Justin's good. Those are the numbers that make you go, oh, okay, pretty significant. Let's look at batted balls. Do people hit the ball hard on him? Exit velocity on balls hit is 87 miles per hour. League average is 88. So hitters hit the ball less hard off of Justin than they do the average pitcher. On balls hit in play, what percent of those are officially hit hard? 95 miles an hour exit velocity or over. Justin's hit hard ratio is 36.6. League average is 38.9. So they hit it a little less hard than average, and they hit it less often. Hits per 9, 8.7. Home runs per 9, 0.7. Base on balls per 9, 1.9. And strikeouts per 9, 9.1. So his strikeout to walk ratio is really good. So, are those numbers ace worthy? I don't know. They're good. We hope they get better. Let's look at some of his splits. We know Justin's nasty against right-handers, right? To me, that's one of the things that makes Justin a really good left-handed starting pitcher, is because he's capable of getting out righties. You have to be. You can't be a starting left-handed pitcher and not get righties out. You're going to face 8 out of 9 hitters are going to be right-handed. So it's really no surprise, but Justin actually gets righties out at a higher rate than he does lefties. Let's take a look. His splits for 2023 versus right-handed and left-handed batters. Right-handers hit 247 against Justin. Left-handers hit 267. Right-handers had an on-base percentage of 291. Lefties, 314. Righties had a slug of 346. Lefties slugged him at 473. That's really surprising. So a right-hander has an OPS of 637. Lefty OPS is 788. Wow, you just wouldn't think it, but there it is. We've got a situation that concerns me with Justin. It has to do with sort of his trend. He was way better in the first half of 2023, and then he faded. I'm going to give you an example. I took June, July, August, and September. I'm going to give you ERAs for those months. Remember, he was really good coming out of the chute. April, May, June was really good. In June, he had an ERA of 1.56. In July, he had an ERA of 2.59. In August, he had an ERA of 3.41. And in September, 4.91. That's the part that concerns me. That's a pretty big fade, right? Much different player, right? Had a good first half, goes to the All-Star game, then comes back, starts to fade. So, of all the numbers I pulled up, those are the numbers that really make me hesitate. Ace-worthy? That's not ace-worthy. Let's take a closer look. I went with his last 5 games. Last 5 games of last year. He went 1-4, gave up 16 earned runs. That's a ERA of 5. 29 innings, gave up 29 hits. It was not great. But I'll give you the good news. This is the last piece of news I'll give you, and then you have to decide is Justin Steele our ace. The last game he pitched, he was really good. He went 8 innings, shutout ball, 2 hits, 2 walks, and struck out 12 over 8. So what are we going to get? Are we going to get first half Justin? Are we going to get last game of the season Justin? Or are we going to get last 5 games Justin? Or are we going to get the fade through the summer months? I don't know. I'm worried, to be honest with you. Not scared, you know. It's not like, I mean, Justin's going to pitch. Justin's going to get 32 starts. I just don't know if he's going to be an ace. You know, probably win 16. Probably. But ace, do we still need an ace? We might still need an ace. You know, like if you think, boy, what if Justin was like third starter? That'd be really good. Like if Tyone really steps up and turns into one, or Kyle rebounds and does it right. I mean, Kyle might. We can see that. But to depend on Justin Steele to carry us in 2023, I don't know. I think that's a mistake. I think we're gonna need help. And if he does, great. If he does, that's fantastic. But at this point, I'm gonna figure Justin on a good staff. Maybe Justin's the ace on a bad staff, but on a good staff, Justin probably 3 to me until he proves it a little more long term. So I just think it's a good discussion. I thought it was very interesting to break his numbers out. I hope you guys enjoyed doing it, and we'll see. So thanks for joining us here today on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. I really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button, following me. You can follow me on X at Randy Talks Cubs as well. And we'll see you very soon. In the meantime, go Cubs go.